Good morning. It is Thursday, April 17th, and this is day 54 on the AT. My dad, along with my grandma, just dropped me off at Smith Roach Gap, and I plan to make it to about the 930 mile mark. I believe it's called Rock Springs Hut, and that's just south of what's called Skyland Lodge. Starting the day with a nice little climb here. Also want to note, we went out to breakfast this morning. It's my grandma's birthday, so happy birthday, Grandma. And my aunt met us there with my cousin Cohen. So we had a nice little breakfast, and then they drove me up to Swift Run Gap, US Route 33, and just dropped me off at Smith Roach Gap. So sun's out, the wind's not blowing, and we're gonna rock and roll. We'll see you up trail. This is one of the viewpoints, a really good viewpoint from the top of High Top Mountain. So I'll go out here to this rock, and beautiful view. You can see Skyline Drive down there. There's a pull off. And you're actually looking west, and the reason I know that is because straight out there, that peak, that is Massanutten. And that whole range out there is its own separate range, and that's a Massanutten mountain range. And it goes all the way up to Front Royal and runs parallel to the mountains that we're on right now. Just got down to the High Top Mountain parking area. Crossing the road here, I'm gonna go up this way, and then I'm about 1.5 miles from the Route 33 crossing, Swift Run Gap. All right, just came down and out of the woods, and I'm crossing over Route 33 now. Then I'll head back up into the woods that way. Okay, first break of the day is coming at the Pocosin Cabin, and from what I understand, there's also a spring close by as well. So I'm gonna sit at this table and try not to touch the surface, because I know the outcome of touching the surface here. But yeah, what a view. Nice little spot. All right, I'm gonna sit down and eat a snack and get some water. Well, this is pretty much how most of the trails through Shenandoah National Park have been. And you're able to get a lot of miles in a shorter amount of time because of how mellow they are. And I know some people might call me crazy, but from Springer Mountain all the way up to Rockfish Gap by Waynesboro, you know, the trail was somewhat difficult. And I'd say once you enter Shenandoah National Park, the trail really gets, I'm saying it, gets easier. Now, I know it's all relative, but to me, it's been much easier the last couple days. And anybody who is through hiking behind and doesn't know, once you get to Rockfish Gap, let's just say things get a little bit easier, you know, and weather dependent as well. You know, if you have a miserably rainy day. Well, it's a miserably rainy day. You just got to make the most of it. So for what it's worth, take that for a grain of salt, and we'll see you up there in a little bit. Well, I just crested a ridge and saw these tents and quite a busy place. It's the Lewis Mountain Campground. So for anybody looking to come up on the Skyline Drive and camp, that could be your option. I just had a nice encounter with two hikers from New York. Talked to them for a moment and asked me if I'd like some gummy bears. And I said, yes, please. So thank you all if you're watching this. I appreciate it. And it's going to fuel me on to Rock Springs Hut. I've still got just over 10 miles to go, and it's approaching 4 p.m. So nice little trail magic on trail. I just got to the top of Hazeltop, and I was starting to go down the other side. There was no views at the top, and this was an unmarked side trail. Wow. Earlier in the day, I showed Massanutten. Now it's basically to my southwest. Beautiful. I'm just crossing the road now at Milam Gap, and gonna do a water refill soon. I'm still about 5.5 miles out. Well, without realizing it, I've come up on the backside of Big Meadows Lodge. So it was kind of weird seeing that as I crested this ridge. That last view you saw, that was a view called Black Rock. Another one. I think I just passed a Black Rock the other day with the big boulders. And that view you saw was to the west. All right, I'll go ahead and close out. I'm about half a mile from the Rock Spring Hut. It is almost 7 o'clock, so I'll get there about 7:15. I will find a water source, set up camp, and cook some food, and then stretch and then crawl in my tent. So that's the game plan. Two things to note that I have forgotten to mention today. It is my mother-in-law's birthday. Happy birthday, Susan. I'm sorry that you had to wait till the end of this video to hear that. And then the other is a big one. The Queen of Manhattan is coming to town tomorrow. Colleen will be in town, and I'm thinking about starting super early so that I can spend an evening with her, because I got to do 22 miles before I link up with her. So I think I'm going to start right on trail at 6:30, try to knock it out by 3 and link up with her. So that's what's going on. In other news, the views are beautiful today, and we'll catch you tomorrow. Till then, this is Rabbit, and I'm hopping off.